And with that, why don't we go ahead and settle in for some meditation? What a gift. What a gift to be able to meditate and have karma with meditation. Using whichever method you find most effective, please allow both your physical body and your mind to start to settle and to rest, to become quiet and still. Please gently transition into meditation on the inner body. Become the silent observer of sensations, sensations that may start in your hands and your feet in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. Rest in stillness. Even better, be stillness and silently observe. The mountain abides in a state of constant stillness. In the winter time, somehow, the mountain is even more still. Standing snow on the ground muffles sound. There is less animal traffic in the winter. The mountain simply observes, resting in a place of stillness. No judgment, no labeling, no comparing, no expectation. Be like a mountain as you silently observe sensations within your own body, mountain. Your practice of meditation on the inner body may involve observing sensations in so-called isolated parts of your body, your hands, your feet, the region of your chest, and so forth. Please know that this is a perfectly valid method of practice. Perhaps an even more valid method of practice is for you to observe one universal sensation that extends from the crown of your head to the tips of your fingers, the soles of your feet, and all space in between. Whichever is your method of practice, please just continue to silently observe. And as you continue to silently observe sensations or a sensation, please gently note that this entity called physical body no longer appears to your mind. It may be that you are unable to find this entity called physical body. If this is your experience, please know that this unfindability is emptiness. Emptiness of physical body, empty of inherent existence, empty of independent existence. For the last moment or two of our meditation this morning, please just rest. Please just rest comfortably with this lack of appearance, this absence of body, which is in fact the true nature of your body, it being empty of any inherent intrinsic aspects or qualities. And now, very, very gently, please redirect your awareness. Become aware again of this entity called physical body. Allow it to reappear as you observe the different parts of your body, your legs, the bones in your legs, muscles, and so forth. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you're occupying. Deeper and deeper breaths, and become aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. Become aware again of clouds, of blue sky beyond the clouds, of outer space beyond the blue sky. We dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception enjoy an abundance of pure air and water, delicious, nutritious food, safe, warm, dry, reliable, affordable shelter, and comfortable, functional, attractive clothing. And with everyone's basic needs met, may we all enter and progress on wisdom paths that lead to complete and permanent liberation from all forms of suffering. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. So, in our class on Monday, remember we talked about the three root delusions, the delusions of anger, attachment, and ignorance. And we talked pretty, for the most part, we used most of our time to discuss the root delusion of ignorance. And in the couple of classes that we have been addressing the three root delusions, I have deliberately used, I won't call it an incorrect term, but I'll call it a less than completely accurate term, less than completely correct term. You may remember from, I think it was a week ago today, we were talking about the delusions of anger and attachment. And I said that the antidote to anger is patient acceptance. And I said that the antidote to attachment is wisdom realizing impermanence. Okay. That's not exactly correct. And I'll explain to you kind of what is correct. Patient acceptance is actually not an antidote, but it's referred to in the sutras as being an opponent to anger or aversion. We use the terms anger and aversion interchangeably. So while patient acceptance can oppose, kind of maybe like neutralize, we might think of it as neutralizing anger, it doesn't make it go away completely, and therefore we can't call it an antidote. Okay. Wisdom realizing impermanence is also an opponent. It's an opponent to the delusion of desire or desirous attachment or just plain old attachment. It can neutralize the delusion of attachment, but it doesn't make it go away completely. The only real antidote is wisdom realizing emptiness. Because if you think about it, and it may sound like I'm getting really granular here, it's not. This is really important. These distinctions are super important. Whether it's an object of aversion or an object of attachment, as long as we think the thing really exists, then there's confusion there. There's ignorance there, and thus there is the delusion of ignorance and the potential for more delusions, anger and attachment and jealousy and miserliness and so forth. Only when we awaken to the fact that not only qualitatively is my object of attachment, my object of aversion, a made-up idea, but existentially, it's a made-up idea too. And that's why wisdom realizing emptiness is the only true antidote to our delusions, to all delusions. Yes, Tina, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Oh, yeah, Jeff, I noticed that you mentioned that the kind of opponent to ignorance was wisdom realizing emptiness last time. So is that also attachment too?
Thank you for that distinction, Tina. We refer to wisdom realizing emptiness as being the antidote to ignorance. Yes, ignorance or self-grasping ignorance, grasping at phenomena as though it has inherent existence. But wisdom realizing emptiness is also an antidote to all the other delusions. Yeah. So kind of like properly speaking, technically speaking, the opponent to anger is patient acceptance. The opponent to attachment, wisdom realizing impermanence. The antidote to ignorance is wisdom realizing emptiness. But at the end of the day, or not but and at the end of the day, wisdom is also the antidote to attachment, aversion, and all the other kind of secondary delusions, we might call them. And this is really important. This is the main point that I didn't have time to make in Monday's class, and I wanted to allow plenty of time for it this morning, is how this all links up, how an experience of, or a realization of wisdom realizing emptiness, how that addresses our delusions and thus solves our problem, solves all of our problems. That's why we're here, right? To solve our problems and like free ourselves from the suffering that comes from our problems. If we come to see the emptiness of our objects of aversion and our objects of attachment, this thing that I can't live without, this person who I can't live without, or my sacred possessions, my car or my house or my clothes, right? Like, have you ever gotten a brand new garment of clothing and then spilled like hot sauce on it, like the day you brought it home? That pain you experience, that's attachment. Um, um, when we can come to realize and live the truth that this shirt over which I'm experiencing pain because I just bought it and brought it home, and like 20 minutes after bringing it home, I spilled hot sauce on it and now it's ruined, right? When I come to realize that that garment of clothing, shirt, or whatever it might be, that shirt doesn't really exist, it's just a product of my mind. What is there for me to be attached to, really? I'm attached to a made-up idea, or I'm attached to an illusion or a mirage, like a dreamlike object. It's like, and that's a really powerful analogy that is used in Buddhist doctrine, is the analogy of a dream, right? It's like when we fall asleep, our dreaming mind becomes manifest and we experience dream objects, right? They're not really real. There's not nothing there, but there's not anything real, hard, and fast. It's just like an illusion. It's like a dream object. We wake up and it's like, we don't have most of us don't have thought, oh, that dream object that I was enjoying so much, I hate that it disappeared. I'm really discouraged. It's like going to ruin my whole day. No, we just like let go of it. We just realize it was just a mirage, just like an illusion that was appearing to our mind. So-called material objects that we experience with our waking mind, waking objects appearing to our waking mind, are very, very similar. And so what if we were able to develop the same sort of attitude or approach to objects, our shirt, people for whom we have attachment? And by the way, don't start with your children, right? Because that's too hard. Just start with garments of clothing, right? Or your car, or something like that, right? But the whole point of this, where all of this is going, you guys, is if we can come to see that this shirt that I'm so attached to is just an appearance to my mind. It's comprised of parts. It appears as a result of causes. It appears really at the end of the day just as a result of my mind creating it, my mind imputing onto this collection of parts shirt. When I come to realize it's just a made up idea, there's nothing really there. What is there for me to be attached to? What is there for me to be angry about? That's where all of this is going. And that's why the distinction between opponents and antidotes is really important. Okay. So thanks, you guys. Listen, I've got a quick announcement. It's 1 minute past 9. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break from our meditation class. So we won't have class on Monday, Christmas, or a week from Monday, New Year's Day. Our next class will be the first Friday in January, which is the 5th or the 6th, 5th or the 6th, whichever it is. 5th. Okay. Thanks, Grace. It'll be the 5th of January. So have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year. And Medicine Buddha will continue as usual on the Saturdays, but yeah, no class until the 5th of January. Have a wonderful holiday.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Jeff. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you,
Merry
Jeff.
Christmas,
Solstice to
everybody. Yeah.
everyone
Christmas,
too.
everybody.
Bye. Yes, solstice too.
And solstice, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Roberta.
Hi, Tina.